Actually, I have a couple of follow-ups to what you said. So, firstly, you mentioned this thing about the developed world and how these stressors are actually worse over there. So, would you say that with an improvement in the standard of living, the quality of life is actually deteriorating?
In fact, can't disagree with you any further. As your observation is right, the quality of life is deteriorating. Stress and strain is a common term in everybody's life. Everybody can get into frothing and fuming for some reason or the other. It could be the traffic, it could be the weather, it could be the government, it could be your health, it could be your wife, it could be your children, it could be thy neighbor. It could be endless reasons where you can find a reason to complain. In fact, stress, in simple terms, stress is nothing but mental accidents. You end up having mental accidents with the world because of your wrong relationship with the world.
Can you elaborate on that?
It is a mental accident means you don't know how to relate with it. It's like just because there's traffic on the road, it doesn't necessarily mean I have to have an accident every time I go out driving, isn't it? In fact, more the chaotic traffic in India in particular, you find there's so much chaos. In fact, when Westerners, when they come and look at the chaos, they say it's a systematized chaos. They say it's an organized chaos. And yet in all this chaos that they see that happen around them, everybody finds a way to reach their destination. And there are no accidents because you know how to relate to that chaos. Even if it's a chaos, you know how to deal with it. So mental peace or stress is a byproduct of your ability to deal with the world. So if you don't know how to deal with the world, how to relate with the world, you will have mental accidents. If you have that know-how, that methodology, the wisdom how to deal with the world, you will have peace and happiness. As John Milton, the famous celebrated English poet, he says, your mind in its own place can make a hell out of heaven, a heaven out of hell. You get that?
Yeah.
Your mind is that which is making a hell into a heaven into a hell. It is not the world. The world is the same for everybody. It's up to you how you deal with it.
So everybody's reality is specific to them.
It is specific to them.
Based on what's going on in their mind.
What's going on in their mind. In fact, the entire world is being picturized and theaterized in your mind. I can either divinize you or demonize you in my own mind. I can either hate you or like you in my mind. I can find a reason to like you. Another person finds every reason to hate you. The person is the same. What we are saying is the world is the same. It depends on how you change your perception to it.
Yeah.
I would say there's a beautiful example, when you boil water and it's to its boiling temperature, if I were to put an egg into the boiling water, again I put a potato into that same boiling water, the water being the same, the boiling temperature being the same, it hardens the egg and softens the potato. So am I to say it's the water? Nah, it is your nature. So if you can build that resilience, build that character, bring that value systems, which is that wisdom we talk about, and if you go get that know-how to deal with the world, you will find every reason to celebrate. Every challenge is a celebration, an opportunity for you to grow and thrive, than complain and moan and suffer.
Yeah.
And since people don't know this, the standards of living are press button comforts. We have got conveniences, pampering ourselves, but the quality of life is alarmingly deteriorating. And stress is one of the major diseases haunting mankind in the modern era today. So if this wisdom can be given and given the know-how how to deal with the world, that art of right contact, you will find peace and harmony within you.
So it's not enough to know what is the problem, what is wrong. We also need to know what we can do about it. So the how piece is what you're going to get at next, I'm guessing.
In fact, you have actually stolen words from my mouth, Abhilasha. You're thinking exactly what I was about to say. Therefore, in conclusion, we could say very soundly, it's not what you relate to, but how you relate to it. It's not what you're relating, it's how you relate to it. So when you say how to relate to it, what is it that in you that is relating with the world?
Yeah.
When I deal with the world based on my emotions, my expectations, my anticipations, you will find the world may not all the time fit into your anticipations, your expectations, or what you want. But when I operate on my intellect, my buddhi, my reason, and take a stock of what the world is, then I have a clear assessment of what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
So I keep a rational check on my expectations, my anticipations. I align myself to what the world is. So if I'm able to take a stock of what the world is, it's just like when it's raining, don't you carry an umbrella? When it's cold, don't you wear a jacket? You don't complain, why is it cold or why is it wet? You adapt. Exactly the same way, you must learn to deal with what the world throws, putting aside your expectations and anticipations. Take a stock of what it is and deal with it head on. And have that sportive spirit. You may win at times, you may lose at times, but it's not what you relate to, but how you relate to. It's not whom you play, but how you play the game. That's the real crux. That's the real essence of what Vedanta is teaching, is how you relate to the world. Right?
That's the real teaching.
That's the real teaching. Okay, great.
Thank you.